Yo, 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 what's up? It's your boy Shell back with another video, man. I'm here today to discuss the Kawhi Leonard trade. Big time move for the Clippers, man. Going ahead and dealing Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors for two unprotected first round picks in 2031 and 2033, and a 2027 first round pick swap. Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, and there was also two second round picks in there. So honestly, I gotta say the Clippers, from the Clippers' perspective first, they got a haul, man. If you're the Clippers, man, the Kawhi Leonard experience has been an absolute disaster. Y'all have heard it before, but obviously them giving up five first round picks and the future MVP of the league, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, future two-time MVP of the league, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, is probably the worst trade of all time. But it's not as bad when you look at it as basically Paul George and Kawhi, because Kawhi said he was only going to sign with the Clippers as if they traded for Paul George, and the two of them together on paper look to be dynamic, man. A lot of people picked them to be the favorites year after year, even though they stayed getting hurt. And Kawhi Leonard has always had this mercurial aura to him, since his days in San Antonio dealing with his knee injuries, and that's kind of where it all started, where communication really hasn't been there with the team, and there's always been this uneasiness going on with him. He's not available. And he's faced heavy criticism from pundits like Stephen A. Smith, calling him Mr. PTO. He's dealt with a lot, but if we just want to look at last season, Kawhi Leonard was a top 10 player in the league, man, and he was making moves, especially after the Clippers lost James Harden. Kawhi Leonard still looked like he could shoulder the load, man. And if you're the Raptors, I feel like this is going to the well one too many times, but I mean, just look at what you gave up. I mean, Brandon Ingram is no slouch, man. I mean, I get it. He's not Kawhi Leonard. He doesn't bring that level of defense for sure. I mean, he no slouch. He's a 20 plus per game scorer in this league, man. They don't grow on trees. And for you to give up this much for Kawhi Leonard, who's been hurt, and give him an extension, I just think it's a huge, huge move. And I just think it's no surprise that after Masai Ujiri signs in Dallas, the Raptors go out and they make this big move, man. Like, this is all in for the Raptors, man. Like, if Kawhi Leonard gets hurt, the next superstar to ask out is going to be, Scottie Barnes. Scottie Barnes is a dude, man. I like this kid. He's got some raw athleticism to him. He's a great defender, solid slasher, making a lot of money, especially in today's league. But I mean, in the East, he's easily a top 15 player in the East, which means you're making the playoffs with Scottie Barnes. And I think definitely with Kawhi Leonard there, if healthy, man, the Toronto Raptors have a real defensive juggernaut of a team, man. I mean, you just look at the projected lineup: Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Scottie Barnes, Kawhi Leonard. I forget who their center is, but those four names alone, man, that's that's a real defensive team right there. And they took the Cleveland Cavaliers to 7 games, man. And Cleveland's no slouch. Cleveland's got a ton of talent. And I mean, I don't think the Raptors were this slight of an upgrade, because I don't want to disrespect Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram is a phenomenal scorer. Obviously, he doesn't bring the defensive intensity, and he hasn't been a proven winner. But in terms of scoring, him and Kawhi Leonard, it's not going to be that much more of an upgrade. Of course, Kawhi Leonard brings that efficiency, but you're trading off for the health, the unreliability, and also the future assets. I just think it's crazy for Toronto to do this again. I think it's going to the well one too many times. If you're the Clippers, man, with this whole aspiration scandal, if y'all don't already know, Allegedly, they paid Kawhi Leonard $60 million under the table to do no show work for this tree growing company aspiration. And, basically it all came out. And, the NBA has been pushing, kicking the can down the road, not coming down on the Clippers yet for this. And they just made a decision. They got off of them, they moved on. Now, the NBA, honestly, they're waiting for this to die down because they know teams have been giving deals like this to players for a while now. The Clippers are just the guys to get caught. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, but if you're telling me Jalen Brunson's turning down 100 million and there ain't nothing for him on the other end, you'd be lying to yourself. These players are not giving up that kind of money, 100 million plus. No way, man. And they shouldn't. And they shouldn't. It would be, financially irresponsible for them to do so. So they getting paid somehow, man. And with Kawhi Leonard's, with his leverage, man, I'm not surprised he was able to get that extra money from the Clippers. I think it's absolutely wrong. I think they got to squash it. I mean, that might be the reality, but the league's got to maintain the appearance of integrity here, because if the salary cap and everything else, you know, is a figment of our imagination, and they can pay the players what they want, it's always going to be the big market teams. If you're a fan of a small market team, just throw in the towel. Unless you have a superstar born to your area like LeBron James, who happens to grow up and be the number one overall pick, and you get the number one overall pick that year, that's the only way you're going to win a championship, if you're a true small market team. If nothing is done about these sanctions with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, it's a real problem for the league, and the league is under attack, man. The league is under attack for gambling. The league is under attack for this aspiration scandal, the streaming services, the controversy, how difficult it is to watch games, salary cap going down. If you're the NBA, you want to sweep this under the rug, and the Clippers moving on and getting a haul for Kawhi Leonard is the perfect way to do it. They can come out now at the end of the offseason and be like, yeah, we took away 2 second-round picks, and, you know, uh, maybe they'll do something else, but I don't see them stripping them of a first. I don't see them doing anything crazy like that. It behoves the NBA to kind of sweep this under the rug and to better police it in the future. But outside of all the optics and all the behind the scenes stuffs, the scandal, just the basketball side of things, um, it's a huge, huge risk for the Raptors. I love the deal for the Clippers. You get Brandon Ingram, on an expiring. You get, these future draft capital. Grady Dick's a former first round pick. So I mean, you could argue they got 3 first round picks in this deal for Kawhi Leonard and a first round pick swap. Which, I got news for you. If Kawhi Leonard is a disaster and blows up, the Toronto Raptors are not going to be very good without him. They really, really lack scoring. So that 2027 first round pick swap is nothing to sleep on. The Clippers got a haul. This is the only way for them to make anything out of the Kawhi era. It's so disappointing. I mean, and it's not Kawhi Leonard's fault. Guy is hurt. He's an all-time player. He could have been a pantheon great player if not for his injuries. If not for his injuries, man. Like, Kawhi Leonard is that guy, man. Like, two-way player, prototype. The prototype for what you want for an elite basketball player. And he's getting better, man. He's showing that he's getting better with age. He's not getting healthier, but he's getting better. And it's a huge gamble if you're Toronto. If you're the Clippers, you let them take the gamble. They've had Was it 5 years of the Kawhi Leonard experience? They're done with this. They're ready to move on, ready to wipe their hands clean, move on. You got Brandon Ingram and Darius Garland. You'll win a few games. I mean, you ain't playing no defense, but you'll win a few games just because those guys can put the ball in the hoop. But let's see what Keaton Wagler is, and where the Clippers go from here. But if you're the Raptors, this is as all in as it gets, man. I mean, they clearly, everyone's talking about Anthony Edwards. They clearly feel the pressure with Scottie Barnes if they're making this move. They're clearly feeling the pressure that he might ask out. And these superstars in the league, man, they got less patience than ever. These guys grew up watching Katie and LeBron. They want it now. And the media is tearing these guys apart. The media is tearing these guys apart with all these narratives. This is what happened to Jaylen Brown. Again, this is the third video bringing up what happened to Jaylen Brown, but the media is tearing these guys apart. It's pressure on these teams to retain their stars, and I think the Toronto Raptors definitely feel the pressure with Scottie Barnes because he's a franchise piece. He's big time, and he needs a co-star with a little bit more of a polished offensive game to help him get through that run, man. But he's a light Giannis, man. He's a budget Giannis. And I don't say that disrespectfully because Giannis is a top 25 player. Scottie Barnes being a budget top 25 player of all time is no slouch. But let me know what y'all think, man. Big time all in move for the Raptors. Relief for the Clippers, man. If you're a Clippers fan, rejoice, move on, wipe your hands clean. Steve Ballmer's got deep pockets. He'll make another run. It's LA. Somebody will eventually want to compete with the Lakers. Somebody. But that's it for this video, y'all. Let me know what y'all want to do next. Put the comment below. Like and subscribe, guys. It's your boy Shell. Peace.